What's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute as always. It's your boy Fluence back in the building once again, man. Y'all already know the vibes. You already know what type of time I'm on. Happy Thursday to everybody up out here. You know what I'm saying? Happy early weekend to the people. You feel me? I know all the working class citizens. You know what I'm saying? Putting in that grind, putting in that work. Y'all can't wait for this weekend. You feel me? Because obviously we got a big fight coming up, man. And even if you're not into the fight game, you know what I'm saying, to the fight world, usually, you know what I'm saying, it's when your day offs come into play. So happy early weekend, everybody. Happy Thursday. Once again, double salute. Much love to the people. Hopefully everybody's feeling good, feeling great. And if y'all not, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it turn around for you. Either way it go, I'm here. We got some things to discuss. We got some boxing to talk about. Obviously, we've been on basically the same topic, the same matter or subject this entire week, of course, because like I've been saying, this is probably the biggest fight in boxing that we've had, you know what I'm saying, in the last 5, 10 years, whatever case you might want to say. The hype around this, in my personal opinion, when it comes to this fight, or at least the buzz or the expectations, I would put it up there with like the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. I'm trying to think if there's any fights kind of missing out maybe in the last 10 years that had this type of hype around it, this type of expectations. But no, and obviously each one was kind of within, each their own, a little bit different. Mayweather Pacquiao, obviously there was a lot of hype around it because a lot of people wanted to see it, but at the same time they were a lot older. So unfortunately it didn't really meet expectations as far as watching it. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, I feel like it wasn't as hyped up as, this fight. Or the Mayweather Pacquiao one, but it ended up becoming something that, you know what I'm saying, ended up being probably, one of the biggest trilogies ever because of the controversy behind it, the first fight, how it went, etc. But, to say the least, obviously history is going to be made when it comes to this particular fight because we're going to have our first undisputed when it comes to the Fort belt era. So, good times coming this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the fight. Obviously, today we got a whole lot of content that we can react to, we can listen to, and we can enjoy together. Obviously, the press conference was today. The final press conference before the actual fight happens was today. So there's a whole bunch of clips, whole bunch of videos that me, myself, personally, I have not seen. And obviously, I want to see it. I want to watch it. But I was like, why should I just watch it, by myself, just chilling in the crib when I can go live? Hop on YouTube, talk to the Black Goose TV family, and react and watch it in real time. So that's what we're going to be doing basically for the majority of this live tonight. I'm just going to be pulling up a lot of these videos and clips because I don't want to watch the entire presser in full. To this day, I stand by the fact that the UFC in general, like I'm not even talking about like other MMA organizations, but UFC just period, they really made any other press conference in combat sports, whether it's another MMA organization or boxing, they made press conferences mad boring. And I can actually, we can point it to the Conor McGregor era where it was like, damn, press conference gonna be this lit, like for real. So I don't ever watch, whole press conferences when it comes to boxing. I don't care who's fighting, and I don't ever watch whole press conferences to any other combat sports other than if it's associated with with UFC. And there's fighters that I like because usually the way they have it set up in UFC is a lot more different than any other promotional company in combat sports, period. And it's entertaining. But of course, what I'm saying, we're in the YouTube era. So we got people who's chopping up the clips and they obviously posting shorter clips and they're posting the good stuff. So that's what I'm going to be listening to. That's what I'm going to be reacting to tonight. Obviously, anybody who hops up in here, y'all can join me for the ride. If you do come up in here, man, show some love. Hit that like button down below. If you're not part of the family, subscribe to the channel. Come up in here, you got something to say, go ahead, comment. Feel free to comment. It's been good, man. This is fourth day in a row. I told you I was going to be back. I was going to be back being consistent on YouTube. I'm still trying to get into the swing of things, man. I definitely do feel rusty. I feel rusty also because I haven't been, paying attention to boxing like I used to. But all that's going to come together, man. Everything's going to come together. And I'm going to keep saying it, obviously, because like Deontay Wilder said once before, speak it, believe it, receive it. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to put that out in the atmosphere to make sure that it does come into play one day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just keep rocking with me. Everything's going to get smoother. Everything's going to get better. But as for now, Let's focus on the consistency, which is what I am doing. So much love to the people. Double salute once again, man. Hopefully, once again, your Thursday is going good, man. My Thursday, real quick before we get into the boxing, my Thursday it's been okay. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day for your boy. But today was a whole lot better. I won't even cap, but there's still certain things, man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard that what's that little clip or the sound or that like emotional damage? That's how I feel, man. I feel like I'm dealing with some shit emotional today, man. Like everything was cool, work was cool, got in my workout. Y'all check out the daily check-ins. We starting that back up. Today was day one of the daily check-ins. So make sure y'all get in your grind, your fitness, whatever the case may be. Do something every day type. But yeah, all that was cool, all that was in play. But you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with some stuff outside of that where it's just like it's kind of tugging at my heart a little bit. You feel me? So like that's been on my mind. So I definitely want to go live. And I won't even cap. I was just talking to someone before I go on the live, and I kind of took it out on her type, where I was just like, man, why you even calling me type? Because I didn't want to hear it. I was just like, yo, like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to allow me to kind of just forget about that. You know, we're going to just go ahead and dive straight into all this good boxing content. Have a good time. You feel me? I don't know how long this live is going to be. Yesterday, I told you I was going to do a short one tonight since, you know what I'm saying, we about to hit the weekend. When I was a young kid, I used to always make Thursday, be like, yo, Thursday is a new Friday. So I'm like, we might go long, we might go short. I don't know how long we're going to do, but let's just make sure, you know what I'm saying, we cover everything that needs to be covered when it comes to Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and everybody saying things. Also, too, Adrien Broner, we're going to be checking out the videos on him. He has some heavy inputs when it came to this upcoming fight. Obviously, he's close friends with Errol Spence, or at the very least, we should say he rocks with Errol Spence a little bit more. I won't say close friends because I don't know how Errol Spence feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Adrien Broner always be like, hey, yo, this is my close friend. This is my dog. This is who I ride with. But the other person never, you know, he never confirms that. Adrien Broner, but that's my dog and stuff. Yeah, but then you never heard the other person reciprocate that, be like, yo, that is my dog. So, but yeah, either way it goes, man. Once again, double salute to the people. I had to give y'all a quick recap of my day because my day is, I guess it's day 2 of it being a little bit rough, but we trying to make sure it work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and pull up the first video that I'll be reacting to. When it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford having their press conference today. Let's see what's looking good to me, man. Let's see what we're gonna go with first. I think I'm gonna go over shout out to Fight Hub. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go to Fight Hub route or if I want to go to Fight Hype. I saw Fight Hype had a lot of good things. Let's go over to Fight Hub. All right. So I don't want to see nothing on Jamel. That ain't what I want to see. Okay. So first, I think this is a good way to start it off. Let's first see. I see this right here. Derek James clowns Terence Crawford's trainer, Bomac. It's only 1 minute and 32. I think this is a beautiful way to start it off right here. Because I did see some things where they were saying, I guess they got into a little heated exchange real quick. So let's see what Derek James had to say to Bomac.
Saturday, what does that say about Brian Bomac McIntyre as a trainer?
Says he got 3 other people helping him.
It's funny, y'all, because come on, y'all, be quiet. It's funny, y'all, because ain't no more hiding. You can't hide no more, Derek. We're gonna find out who the best man is. I respect you for what you've done in the game.
Cheeto.
But you ain't never went up against me or my staff.
That's the only thing been hiding.
Now you remember something.
Tell me what I got to do.
We've been here before.
Well, you
trying to get there.
No.
All right?
Wait.
I can tell you how it is to be undisputed. You can't tell me shit. Sit back and watch this. Sit back and watch this. I promise you something.
Hey, man, listen, man. They got to make a new weight for you. Super heavyweight. What the fuck you talking about? We know
all that shit you talking don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
I can bump my guns at you, you can bump your guns at me, but at the end of the day, them 2 brothers got to get in the ring.
That's right.
All right, G, so shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am.
This is going to be one heck of a fight.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Now, let's get to the fighters.
Look, mama.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo, wow. Look. I didn't understand. That sounded crazy. That was crazy. That's a Cam Mason movie. That was a pause. Why is he calling us? Why he saying yes, man? Why he saying little mama? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's disrespectful, but that's crazy at the same time. I don't know which is like. But yo, it's like you see trainers go at it before. You've seen that before, but that was an interesting exchange. You know what I'm saying? Um, I hear where Bo Mac was coming from. You ain't been here before, but you heard Derek James. He's like, "What you mean? Jamel is undisputed. We have been here before." But it's like you can't really say that because he's more so referencing with the fighter that you're with right now. Like you haven't been here before with the fighter that you're currently with. That was still crazy though. That was crazy. James being like little mama, but I was like, that's what he's referencing. He's like, you and Errol Spence haven't been here before. Me and Terence Crawford have been here before. You might have been here before, Derrick James, with Jamel, but we talking about the current fighter that you sitting next to. I like it. I don't know if that was manufactured, and I really don't think it was because I saw a YouTube short where Terence Crawford was entering when they were first arriving to Vegas, and Derrick James was a little bit ahead of him. And Terence Crawford kind of, tried to get his attention and like just say, "What's up?" But I think Derrick James kind of took it the wrong way, and he was just like he kind of like sized Terence Crawford up. Derrick James, he kind of been on edge, bro. I ain't even finna cap to you, man. He been a little bit on edge where he been. Let's keep it on the trainers right now. Derrick James, Clowns, Crawford. Let's keep it on the trainers. I didn't expect to get into the trainers, but I didn't know there was so much riffraff between the two. Let me make sure too. Fight Hype don't got any different videos that I want to fuck with, so I'm gonna pull that up too. But let's get it when it comes to these trainers because it seems like Derrick James and Bomac, man, they got a little bit of beef, and I don't know if it's manufactured to make shit look a little bit better than what it is, but it seems like they got some shit to say to each other. Oh yeah, Fight Hype got some videos that I want to talk about. Oh yeah, we got some different things coming. Okay, so let's I like the difference in the clips we got going on. So let's go with this right here. So back with the trainer beef.
21 Savage. My man, Steven Espinoza, and you didn't call me either.
Oh, sorry.
But I still love you. Let me bring here now to the podium. And before I do that, let me acknowledge, and I saw him, the assistant trainer for Bud Crawford. Where's Ethan Diegas? I saw him out there. Want to acknowledge you, sir. Good to see you. But let me bring to the podium now. This man's the head trainer for the WBO welterweight champ.
Hold up, before we even get into that, all right, I do want to say this because I think obviously we know when it comes to Derrick James, he's been getting eyes on him. He got best trainer of the year last year. He's brought new people into his stable, or actually people have reached out to him to be in the stable. As we know, Anthony Joshua is currently training with him. Anthony Joshua was fighting Dylan White later this year. That's going to be his first fight under Derrick James, and obviously Ryan Garcia went ahead and made his way over there as well. So I haven't heard Bomac say anything to or about Derrick James prior to this that maybe would make Derrick James feel the way he feels. So that's what I'm saying. Is this manufactured just to be an extra? I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, we here and it makes for a good time. Okay, I want to do that. All right, let's go. Load up, fucker. Let's get it. Let me reload my page. Exactly.
This man's the head trainer for the WBO welterweight champion of the world. He is Brian Bomac McIntyre.
Okay, so this is actually a clip. It's gonna be Bomac speaking and Derrick James. So maybe we're gonna get. Maybe you do say something. Let's see.
We're here now, y'all. Ain't nothing else to say. He can't hide no more. It's time to take care of business. Work time. Work time. Work time. Also, I want to give a shout out to Red Spikes. He's another assistant trainer. Where you at, Red? I see you. You and Sal. Where Bernie the boxer at? Yes, sir. It's time to go to work, y'all.
Definitely straight to shoot. To the point.
Cheers. You can't either. You can't do shit. Now. You can't do shit to ring with him either. Got it. Okay. All right. Let me bring here to the podium now. Before I do that, let me acknowledge from the Spence camp. I saw him. Father of Errol Spence Jr. There he is. Errol Spence Sr. Good to see you. Coming to the podium now. 2022 boxing writers. 2022 Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year, Mr. Derek James.
All right, let's see what Broner got to say.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off what he said. There's no more talking, and there's nothing else they can say. And I just want to say, my chant is, it's time to eat. It's time to eat.
That's
And
crazy.
the reason why I said it's time to eat, because he had missed the meal. It's time to eat. It's time to eat.
That's crazy.
It's time to twirl. It's time to make it happen. Tired of talking. Yeah. And listen, hold your voice. Hold your voice. Hold your voice. Hold your voice. Because y'all gonna get it. You can't talk. You can't fight. None of that. It's time to go. Showtime.
Oh, yo, I ain't even finna lie. Just off, I'm like, because we haven't even gotten into the fighters back and forth, and like everything I was seeing on the clips, supposedly, man, it got a little bit more heated than everybody expected. But I'm like, yo, this is a lot more. I'm like, it's fight week. It's close to fight time. I'm like, this is getting intense. I ain't even finna cap. Like, look, this is what, remember the main thing I said, what I'm saying? I was kind of saying it every stream, but on the first stream when I came back Monday, I was like, one of the biggest reasons, obviously, for me to come back doing my lives, doing YouTube is because I want to come back doing this consistently, doing what I used to always do, right? Excuse me. The reason why is because I wanted to get hyped for this fight because I know how big this fight is. All right, Fluence, why ain't you hyped for the fight? Black, why ain't you hyped for the fight like that? It's because I took myself out of it. I wasn't as, just engulfed in the boxing community like I always have been. I took a step away. I've been trying to get shit right, do it up, get life situated. Now, obviously I'm not content nowhere. We're still working hard, but I'm at a point where I can put my focus a little bit back more into YouTube. It's like, well, I'm not as excited for this fight as I should be. So it's like, it's only right for me. Let me do this, even if I didn't want to. Let me do this every single night so I can get excited. Those two videos right there, they did it. They did it. I'm hyped. Because if y'all don't know, you should know. UFC is happening the same night. And that card is bananas. That card is crazy. That's one thing I have not stopped watching. I've been watching the UFC cards. That card is going to be bananas, right? But I'm like, this. I'm like, Bomac, he didn't even throw no shots. But Derek James came with that one-hitter quitter. I'm not even finna cap. You can see, like, this is my analyst of those two different speeches. Bomac was confident and dismissive, right? Derek James was arrogant and boastful, right? And direct. Which one ends up, being, the better of the two, who knows? But that was interesting. All right, so let's that's the face-off. I don't want to do the face-off just yet. Let me see. They got the edited best heated moments, Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford. That might be the way to go. Let me see. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the best heated moments between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. That's a little bit longer, but then we can do the reactions of both of them after. So I like that. Let's watch that. Let's do that. That's the perfect thing to go into right now. This is hey man, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm excited now. This is gonna be a fight.
Saturday.
I'll start with the face off. That's trash. I want to hear what they got to say.
As I want to show Mike first his tails.
It's time to eat.
Mike, how you gonna start off with the face-off as the most heated? Of course, that's gonna be the most heated. I want to hear the back and forth. Here we go. All right.
I like the
Get it? You can't talk. You can't.
All right, let's go.
First and foremost, I like to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to be here amongst each and every one of y'all. I like to bless everybody that has something to do with putting this event together. You already know what time it is now. I'm ready. He ready. We're going to have a fish fry come Saturday. But listen, though.
Hey, yo, what's good with it, Danny Drew? He said, I got Spence Crawford going to be on his bicycle. How confident are you in that prediction? Because I ain't never seen Crawford on a bicycle, not once. Even if he gets hurt, he keeps coming forward. Crawford, I ain't never seen Crawford on a bicycle. Spence got to be a bad boy to make him change into a style that he ain't never boxed. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, though. My family, Errol family, man, you got to calm down, brother. Because listen, man, things can get real sticky real quick. And then everybody would say, this is what we do every time we come out. This is what we do when we come out.
Listen, I'm pretty sure it's going to be regular because I don't think either of the fighters asked for like a specific ring size. Ring size for Crawford for Spence. If that's public information, it may not be. Not even gonna lie. Yeah, so there's no. I typed it in. There is no specific information about the ring size, so that tells me it's probably going to be a regular size ring that they're going to be fighting. No one asked for a bigger ring. No one asked for more space, and I don't expect that because you got to think about this too. Usually, when ring size is discussed, you usually have someone who likes to come forward compared to someone who likes to fight off their back foot. And so usually the person who fights off their back foot, let's say like Caleb Plant versus Canelo, Caleb Plant's going to ask for a bigger ring size. That's going to be, Caleb Plant's going to ask for a bigger ring size because he wants to utilize as much space as he can. Terence Crawford, he doesn't fight off his back foot. Errol Spence doesn't fight off his back foot. Both of them are come forward fighters. Now, both of them can fight off their back foot, but their main approach isn't that. So that's why I said, I'm like, I completely understand why you say you got Spence winning the fight, but to say Crawford is going to be on his bicycle, I've never seen Crawford on his bicycle because Crawford, that's not his fighting style. Yes, Crawford is a counterpuncher to an extent, but he's also someone who presses the issue, and his counterpunching never is. He never counterpunches in a way where he's fighting off of his back foot. His counterpunching always is hitting someone in between their punches, or being able to utilize a certain type of defense or a certain type of angle to be able to get off what he wants, which is very different. So I would say as of right now, ring size, regular. Because usually if somebody is asking for a bigger ring, that's going to be very apparent.
Social media, my ass. Bro, listen, just like you talking, just like you doing all that talking, bro, it can turn deadly real quick on both sides. So why not support? Listen. Why not support your fighter? Support your fighter. You ain't got nothing wrong with that. Support your fighter. Y'all support y'all fighter. Let's come together.
Sound like the family is going crazy.
Instead of it.
Because that's Crawford. He's addressing Errol Spence's side. Because I'm like, when Derek James was going crazy at Bomac, he was addressing Terence Crawford's side, his family. He's like, you're not fighting. And it seemed like Errol Spence's side, they got something to say. So
everybody's saying every time we get together, you know what I mean? It's always shooting and violence. That's what I want. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but I'm probably older than you and been through way more than you. So, you know what I mean? I'm more mature. But, you know what I mean? I wish Errol and his people's the best. You know what I mean? What? Oh, shit. Hey, everybody know Team Crawford. Y'all know I get active. Let's go. Y'all know what's how it.
And that was crazy. That was crazy. Real quick, I know y'all heard it, but Terrence was like, man, like every time, you know, us folks, our people, man, we get together. Why we got to talk about shooting all that stuff? Like, let's keep it respectful. Let's fight. He's like, I'm older than y'all. I got more experience. And one of them young bulls, they must have said something crazy because he was like, you know, Team Crawford, we get active because that nigga changed his whole too. No cap. They be here in Omaha, Nebraska. Think about, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is getting me way more hype because I'm like, damn, this is getting personal. No cap. Andrew, I hope the ringside is 16, no place to hide. It probably is. I don't see why it wouldn't be. It is. I am a little surprised that when I looked it up, that I couldn't find the information because, especially with tomorrow being Friday, we're one day basically away from the fight. Usually that information is pretty easily to find, but I'm assuming if there hasn't been any request from either side, which is usually public information by now, it's going to be 16. I don't see why it wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't make any sense if it wasn't. But with that being said, let's continue with the antics.
This stretch season, true time. First of all, I'd like to thank my mother and father because without them, I wouldn't be here. They blessed me with the resiliency to get through a lot of stuff in life. I'd like to thank everybody coming out here and supporting. Make sure y'all order Fight on Showtime pay-per-view. I guarantee you I'm going to put on a great show and a great performance. Make sure you bring your season for Saturday night because we're going to have a crawfish boil. We're going to boil his ass. And bring the hot sauce too. Bring the hot sauce too. You already know Bowman got the season too. He's going to be right there with us after the fight.
Sign up for this workshop now.
I won't lie. Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, when he was speaking, that was a lot more. It was a lot more personal. Errol Spence kind of, in my personal opinion, he went up there. He had some. This is what I'm finna say. I'm finna say this. I ain't mad at it though. I thought it was clever. Crawfish, boil, Crawford, all that. Yeah, I ain't mad at it. But I'm just saying, Terence, he was trying to keep it respectful. Earl's seemed like his side was going a little crazy, and he had something to say. Seemed like more personal. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? We're not judging anything off of, you know what I'm saying? Niggas doing interviews and shit. I don't mean shit, but all right. Let's go to the next one. They got the Bomac one. Already seen that after the Bomac. Bomac and Derrick James going at it. Already seen that. All right, let's see what Errol had to say right here. How many rounds the fight go? I predict Errol in 8. So that's crazy. I'm like, we basically got the same prediction, but opposite. I got Terence Crawford in 8. And my prediction is basically, I think Errol Spence is going to get the better of Terence Crawford in about the first 5 to 6 rounds. And what I mean by getting the better of him, I don't think it's necessarily going to be something where people are going to, well, me personally, the way I see fighting, I'm not going to be like, oh, damn, Terence, you won't be getting your ass whooped. But I see it more so where Errol Spence's work rate is really going to shine and is really going to show in the first 6 rounds. But I think the work rate, as much as it's been a positive for Errol Spence throughout his career, I think in this particular fight is going to be a negative, not because I don't think it's going to be effective. It's going to be effective. But I think his work rate is going to allow Terence Crawford to be able to get reads on him that he's going to be able to utilize, download, and be able to do what he does best and be able to hit him with that precise punch that, he'll be able to capitalize off of. He's going to be able to see certain weaknesses because the work rate is going to be so high. He's going to be able to see certain patterns that he's going to be able to pick up on. I think the first 5 to 6 rounds is going to look as if Errol Spence is winning the fight. But I think Terence is going to pick up on that. And I think around the 8th to 9th round, we're going to see a stoppage from Terence Crawford, maybe even the 10th. So I'll say I'll say 10th round TKO from Terence Crawford. That's my prediction. So let's see what Errol got to say right here.
But Crawford, same question.
Okay, I missed
Will
the
you
question.
tell
Hold on.
boxing public heck of a
Yes,
fight?
ma'am, I will.
Now, let's get to the fighter.
Look, mama.
I'm gonna win
still
because
crazy.
I'm
You call him
the better
little
fighter.
man.
I'm a better fighter. Physically, mentally, it doesn't matter. I'm more durable than him. Like I said, I'm gonna break him down and I'm gonna break his wheel.
Bud Crawford, same question. Will you tell boxing public why Terence Bud Crawford will win Saturday night?
Everything about Terence Crawford is better than Errol Spence Jr. When you look at everything that I do in the ring, it's better than Errol Spence Jr. So, you know what I mean? Come fight night, I'll be proving each and every one of the doubters wrong once again that Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world today. And that's just what it is. Not taking, you know, any credit away from Errol. He's a great fighter. He's good at what he do. But when you compare him to Terence Crawford, there's no comparison. I'm just a better fighter.
What's he?
Switch to Verizon and get
Let me let this ad go through. We'll go to the next one. You said who got the bigger bricks? I give Terrence speed. So this one I'm gonna be hunted with. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been seeing a whole lot of comparison videos, right? You know, who you think got the better speed, precision, who has the better form, all that stuff. When you're at this high of a level, those things don't matter as much, as you probably know. As you know, you know what I'm saying? So this isn't me trying to tell you, but as you know, those things don't matter as much, right? The biggest factors is going to be precision and placement and being in the right spot at the right time. So the reason why I lean toward Terence Crawford is, yes, Terence may look like he has more speed, but if you want to be honest with you, a lot of people are saying that Terence is faster than Errol Spence. I actually think Errol Spence is the faster puncher. I also think he's a stronger guy. But I think the power, I think Terence has more power. And this is something I was talking about yesterday, where I was running through Terence's resume and all of his last, like the last time he hasn't KO'd or TKO'd someone was in 2016. Errol Spence, obviously, his last stoppage was against Ugas, but then before that, you had to go all the way back to shit. Who was it? Not Kell Brook, because there was one right after Kell Brook. But it was like around 2018 for his last stoppage other than the Ugas. So I think when it comes to not even power in their hands, how hard it feels, and I don't think it's about that. Because I'm like, if Errol Spence is the bigger guy, and I'm saying he's a little bit faster, then obviously in a sense, I'm basically saying like Errol has, you know what I'm saying, the bigger bricks, right? But the difference between the two is placement and precision of shot. As fundamentally sound Errol Spence is, and he's phenomenally fundamentally sound. Like when I watch him do his mitts, when I watch him do his bag work, he is so, I can even tell he really thinks about where he wants to place his shots and how he wants to place them and win. Terence Crawford, his ability to be able to precisely hit someone off a counter punch where he wants to and be able to utilize that power while doing it is just, in my personal opinion, a couple levels above of Errol Spence. And I think that's what the difference is going to be. I don't think it's going to be the speed, bigger, stronger, power, any of that. I just think, me personally, I think Terence Crawford, there's something about him where how he places his shots, his ability to be able to place his shots when he needs them to be placed is just next level. So that's how I feel. And then you talking about, I know you showed out last Tuesday. He's number 1 pound for pound, the monster. I'm like, that's similar. Like it's the same, even though and now he definitely got some bricks. But I'm like, the way he can place his shots, the way he set up that combination against Fulton, where he jabbed to the body, he was going to the body early, and then he hit him with the precise jab to the body, where Fulton had to respect it, and then he came over the top with that right. That's very, I don't want, that's disrespectful, but that's how Terence Crawford fights. So that's how I personally think. I don't think Errol Spence is that technical in the sense of he's setting up his shots to land something that he knows will be effective at the end of the day. Does that make sense? And you can kind of see that on how they train. Derek James, he's not a trainer like that. Derek James, you can tell he's a volume trainer. And that's why Errol Spence is so good he's very technical. he's very fundamental, and he's a volume trainer. A lot of times when you train volume, that means you're more so trying to break your opponent down rather than break down your opponent. Let me break down the difference. Breaking your opponent down is, I'm going to keep pressuring him, I'm going to keep pushing forward, and I'm going to keep hitting him, and I'm going to tire him out, and he's not going to be able to have the will to sustain, right? That's breaking your opponent down. Breaking down your opponent is what Terence Crawford does, where it may look like I'm losing rounds, but I'm basically dissecting and downloading what my opponent is doing and where I'll be able to land that good shot. So it looks like I might be losing, but I'm setting this shot up all night. Then when I have the time to hit him, boom. And that's what we saw against Nayu and Fulton. He was utilizing that jab to the body, whereas, certain points, it's like, you have to respect it. I'm just waiting for the right to come over the top. Terence Crawford does those things. You saw it against him when he fought Kell Brook. So that's where I think Terence Crawford will excel, and that's why I think he's going to win. But at the same time, Errol Spence is a big body. You've never seen him necessarily hurt. So let's see if Terence Crawford's power is true, because let's say he does get that shot that Terence Crawford feels like is going to be able to, hurt Errol Spence or be able to put him in a certain position. If Errol Spence takes it on the chin and he just keeps coming forward, it's going to be Errol Spence fight all night.
And my skill.
I did not mean to press that. My bad, Joe. I was supposed to pull up this video. Touch screens, man. They the death of it. I gotta go all the way back to where I was. Where was I? I was right here. All right.
Why he's trying to year, because what he teach, he don't have followers, just talent. He teach fundamentals. He teach sound basics, and that's what he's gonna find out that I do have.
So they were talking about Derrick James right there, and he was saying what makes him the coach of the year, and he was basically saying, he doesn't have talented fighters necessarily, but he does have some, but he takes his basics, fundamentals. That's what I was just saying.
I have great defense. I do have great offense. I do have great stamina. I have all the above. I just don't have talent.
But same question. What's Errol Spence Jr. going to find out about Bud Crawford when he steps in the ring finally on Saturday night?
The same thing that everybody else find out. They're going to come in there and say, damn, I kind of underestimated this guy. On TV, he looks one way, but in the ring, I saw 3 of them. So, it's all good. He got the fundamentals. He got, the durability. He got the stamina. He got the size. He's strong. He's the big bad wolf. So come fight night, we're going to find out, all that he say he is. He's going to have to show.
That's crazy. I'm like, I just kind of just echoed all of that. Terence is going to be stepping angles to counter. Spence going to walk him down. This is where I'll dispute what you just said. Terence Crawford, he does use angles because he's a very versatile fighter, but that is just not his style, right? Terence Crawford, the way he counters by punching in between the other or the opponent's punches. So Terence Crawford is more of a guy where he's going to stand in front of you. He's going to allow you to get off what you feel comfortable, but he's going to be just out of range so he can land what you didn't expect, right? He's not really an angle counterpuncher. He's not a guy where he's going to let someone throw, angle out, and then counter. He's more of a guy where he'll stand in front of you just in range where maybe enough, you may hit him, but you can't hit him with full power because he's just a little bit out of that space. Or if he is in that space enough, he knows he'll be able to block it or be able to, move out of the way in a sense of head movement. But he's going to stay, he'll be willing to stand in that pocket enough where he can make sure, okay, I know if I make him miss, I can stand right in front of him. And if I land when I want to land, it's going to hurt him. I.e. Sean Porter, Gamboa, David Benavidez. Excuse me, Jose Benavidez, sorry. I'm like, that's what he did with all these guys, right? Even Kell Brook, he didn't angle off with his counting. So, Amir Khan, You say you don't think Terence Crawford gonna stand in front? He has to. If Terence Crawford doesn't stand in front of Errol Spence, he's gonna lose the fight. Because right away he's gonna be basically forfeiting, or I won't say forfeit, but he's gonna be kind of be giving in to saying, okay, Errol Spence, you're this bigger and stronger fighter. This is your ring. You can't do that. He's gonna have to establish himself by standing in front of him. And if he doesn't, that's going to be a problem. He's going to lose the fight. But I do believe Terence Crawford is going to make a point of standing right in front of him. He's going to have to. That's the only way he has a chance to win the fight. He's going to have to show Errol Spence, I'm not backing down. You may think I'm a smaller fighter, you bigger, like you said, durability, all these different things. But yo, I'm right here. And that's where Terence does his best work. So he can't change his game plan. It's either going to work or it doesn't.
Bud, this will be your 8th fighter at welterweight. 7 of them have been stopped. Will Errol Spence Jr. get stopped on Saturday night?
I always tell everybody, I don't go in there looking for the knockout. I go looking for the win. But if he get out of line, he's going to be the next one down.
I've been getting that line my whole life. So shit, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Shit, I'm about to take my belt off him.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna do it.
Errol?
You gonna need more than the belt. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't one of your kids.
I'm
You gonna need more than the belt. I ain't one of your kids.
treat you like one.
Yeah, all right, we gonna see.
All right, we definitely gonna see.
You definitely gonna see.
Errol, same question to you. One of your monikers is man down.
That was real.
This is for the undisputed welterweight title. Will you stop Terence Bud Crawford Saturday?
Put him in the dirt.
Folks,
I ain't putting nobody in the dirt.
folks, we'll wrap it up with this. Bud Crawford, for the over 1 million people who will be watching this fight, for the well over 20,000 that have sold out this arena, put down their hard-earned money to come watch you two champions fight. What can you guarantee us we're going to get when you step in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. on Saturday night?
I can guarantee fireworks. I can guarantee y'all that. You know, I'm 100%.
Well, they ain't say, yeah, I agree with you. I do think ringside is going to be important. But they ain't made that public knowledge, which is, like I said, is interesting. But whatever the ring size is, since it's not public and we haven't heard one fighter say, yo, I'm trying to advocate for this, or or another fighter saying, oh, they're trying to make the ring size this, and I don't appreciate it. That means whatever ring size it is, they both agreed to this before the contracts were signed. So that's why it's probably not even a like the Caleb Plant Canelo fight. It's not even a topic that's being put out there as far as promotion. It seems like that was agreed upon before the contract was signed and nothing's changed. So I do agree. I think the ring size matters, but apparently whatever was chosen, whatever was decided on, they both agreed to that prior to the contracts being signed.
120% ready. I'm ready for whatever he brings to the table. He said he come and step in and he's gonna break me, as he say. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Errol Spence Jr., same
Somebody talking crazy in them crowds, bro.
question. Over 1 million people are going to buy this fight.
You ain't gonna bring nothing.
Over 20,000
You ain't
are going to come to this arena. What can you
You ain't
guarantee
gonna
the
bring
boxing public they're going to get when you step in the ring with Terence Bud Crawford?
Crawford talking that shit. I ain't even finna cap.
You a bitch.
You don't get legendary stuff.
You a bitch.
Oh, okay, baby. I thought Terence Crawford was talking to Earl because he's like, you ain't gonna bring nothing. And he's calling somebody a bitch. I'm like, damn, Earl just over there to sit, but he's talking to somebody in the crowd, just to clarify, y'all.
Bitch, nigga.
See,
You a bitch, nigga. You a bitch, nigga.
Well, hold on.
Talking to, nigga.
Let Errol.
You a bitch, nigga. Cause you keep talking like a bitch, nigga.
too
You doing
emotional.
all that talking, nigga.
That's how we're
Doing
gonna
all
do
that
it.
talking, nigga. Oh, whole ass nigga.
Catch me, gotta come back. Catch me, gotta come back.
Real niggas don't talk, nigga. And you talking too much, nigga.
Well, like I said, this fight, this gonna be some iconic shit right here. This gonna be legendary shit right here.
Female ass.
Y'all make sure y'all tune in. This is a legendary old school fight.
Get that whole ass nigga some attention. Put the camera on him, cause that's what he doing. Showing out like a female.
Hey, yo.
Let him finish, bud. Go ahead, EJ.
Yeah, all right.
Look, see,
Y'all done? Y'all done?
Go ahead.
This is gonna be some legendary shit. This is gonna be iconic shit.
I ain't finna cap. I'm not even finna cap. I really don't hope I eat my words, but Terence Crawford just seemed like it's like Errol Spence, like and I've been said. Like I've been said. I'm rocking with Terence, so I don't want you guys to take this as bias, but I'm just like Terence Crawford, the way his mentality is right now, and just when I'm getting off of this, and nobody wins press conference. You can't judge anything off of other shit, but the mentality coming from Terence Crawford just seemed different to me, bro. He really looked like he on some gremlin type of time, bro. Let's talk about it. He said the same thing I said. They don't care because they're not running from each other. That's why I felt I'm like neither of them have styles where they're on their back foot, they bicycle, nothing like that. They both come forward. Danny Drew said the bigger ring advantage is to Crawford. Explain that to me, Danny, because I would like to know why you think the bigger ring advantage is to Crawford. I don't want to answer for you because I have an idea of why you're saying that. And you may not explain it this way, but by you saying the bigger ring advantage is to Crawford, I would take it like you're saying that Terence Crawford fights better off his back foot than Errol Spence. You making it seem like he got if he need to go deep into that bag, he got that. Because neither of their stylistic approach is to fight off their back foot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you gotta explain that a little bit to me. I'm like, are you saying Crawford better off his back foot if he need to fight? You know what I'm saying? If he need to be on a bicycle, but Crawford never fights like that. You feel me? He's like a pit bull ready to bite anybody. Yeah, man. Crawford, like it's interesting too because he's not going crazy and he's not talking a whole lot. But it's like when he's being tested, it's the same thing when you see him in the ring. Like, yeah, Bo, you heard him, he's coming forward. He going crazy, but it's like I like the energy. I like the energy from both though, because I'm like I think they both just playing into their personalities. I think that's all it is. Nobody being fake, nobody being extra, nothing like that. They just playing into they who they is. Has the referee of the fight been announced yet? I can look that up real quick. Let me see. I got you. Referee for Crawford versus Spence fight. Harvey Dock. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford will finally battle on Saturday. This will be one of the biggest fights. Errol Spence, as his regular meeting, Southern. Okay. Overwhelmingly cleared Oklahoma's Sutherland to serve as referee for the fight. So I don't know who that is. Harvey Dock, a referee with the base in New Jersey, was chosen to oversee Spence versus Crawford. The most recent high-profile fight in Las Vegas, Devin Haney's close victory over Vasily Lomachenko. He actually just did that. So you guys know who Harvey Dock is. That is the referee for the fight. The judges are Tim Cheatman, David Sutherland, and Steve Widsfield. Referee Harvey Dock, who will officiate the fight and be paid $4,000, will be the third guy in the ring. They only get paid $4,000 to be in such a high-profile fight. He's only getting $4K. But Harvey Dock, he's going to be the guy. I don't know much about the referee side of the game, but yeah, that was for Danny Drew. So y'all tell me. I don't know if that's something that we should be alarmed about. Spence better check them busted gloves of cheating Crawford. That's coming from Jay Rocks. Come on now. You know damn well Terence Crawford didn't need no busted gloves to beat David Avanson the way he did. Let's talk about said. It's not like they don't like each other. It's business. Like Crawford said, let's just come together and have a good showing. As long as it's not Richard, still, I'm cool. It doesn't look like it. David, I don't know that. I don't think I've ever heard this guy's referee name, but apparently he refed. What fight did I just say? Oh, Vasily Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Or if he didn't ref, apparently the same judge. Okay, no, he didn't ref that fight. The same judges for Vasily Lomachenko and Devin Haney, though, are going to be judging this particular fight. Apparently, I've heard David Sutherland's name multiple times, and it's never good things, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's keep this shit talking going. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. I guarantee y'all gonna want to tune into this fight. Y'all gonna want to buy this fight. It's gonna be your money's worth. But it's gonna be something People gonna talk about this fight 30, 40 years from now when they talk about legendary fights, like they talk about Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and Marvin Hagler, and those Four Kings era, and all those tough fights back then. They're gonna talk about this fight the same way. There's gonna be somebody in USA boxing as an amateur 20 years from now watching us fight, watching our fight on YouTube, whatever platforms they got, and saying, man, I want to be in the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford type fight. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. I guarantee you it's going to be nothing but fireworks from start to finish.
I like that. All right, let me stop that before I get copyrighted. That was going to be so. That was all. That was per Fight Hub TV. All the heated moments from the press conference. I won't even lie to you. That was enjoyable. I'm not even going to cap. I enjoyed the hell out of all those moments. It like I said, 20, 30 minutes ago, when I first I started off pulling up what the trainers were saying and how they was going at each other. And I was just like, bro, like just off of how the trainers are interacting right now, this is giving me more hype. And like I said, like the beginning of the week when I did my first live, I was like, I'm trying to get myself really, amped up for this fight because I took myself kind of out of the boxing community for a little bit. But like, yo, I'm 100% in. Like, yo, that shit was fire. And similar, let's talk about that. It's not like they don't like each other. It's business. Like Crawford said, let's just come together and have a good showing. And that's been their energy this entire time, right? The energy the entire time. Like I felt that. And I think that's probably why I wasn't as hyped as I should have been for it. But this is the first press conference where you can tell, like, yo, we 2 days away from the actual fight. It's getting personal. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence's side is talking mad shit. Terence Crawford's side is talking mad shit. Terence Crawford saying shit to Errol Spence's people. Like this is the type of like, even though it's business, you can tell it's serious. Like that shit was not manufactured. That wasn't fake. And I think both of them are not the type to even be on that type of time. And it's like, it wasn't even really Errol Spence. It was more like Terence Crawford was the one who was going, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like chill. And it wasn't even toward each other as fighters, it's toward their camp. So, but I'm like, that was fire. I won't even cap. Like that made me really like, all right, we're getting somewhere. So I can't wait until the weigh-ins tomorrow. I feel like the weigh-ins is going to be lit, yo. That don't sound like somebody who needs a big thing. Crawford don't celebrate someone who needs a big ring. I agree with you completely when it comes to that. Danny Drew, I know he's from New York. I think Steve Willis should have been brought in for this fight and lost wages. He's intense. Let's fighters fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not very familiar with Steve Willis, even though I probably should be, but you know what I'm saying? Any of the referees who allow the fighters to fight, they don't want to jump in as much. You know, that especially when a big fight like this, I think those are the ones who should be put as a referee. But I'm like we said, like yo, this is one of the biggest fights in the last 10 years when it comes to boxing. So I think they had to be very strategic with the ref. They had to find a ref, hopefully, or chose a ref that allows the fighters to fight. One thing that, like I said, does surprise me. I'm like, hey, he's only getting paid $4,000 for this? I don't believe that. Am I tripping? Y'all think I'm tripping? I'm like, ain't no way. It's one of the biggest fights in the last decade, and the referee they chose is getting paid. Oh wait, Steve Willis. Steve Willis is the dude with the eyes, isn't he? He'd be like, right? Am I tripping? But yeah, I'd be surprised if one of the biggest fights in the world, the referee only getting paid $4,000. But yeah, that's the ref that's going to be on deck. That was all the most heated. The most heated moments from that the press conference today. It made me mad hype. So what we're gonna go into next, and we're gonna react to next, is going to be the reaction of the fighters and some of the people in attendance afterwards. So we got a Terence Crawford 3-minute video reacting to the heated argument between him and Errol. We got Errol Spence reacting to it. We got Derek James reacting to it. As y'all see in the title below, we even got Adrien Broner having some words on everything. So we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna react to all that. You feel me? Happy Thursday to people. What I do want to ask y'all, well, I take my little, it's not gonna be a break. I just gotta use the bathroom real quick. So y'all give me a second. What I do want to ask the people is if y'all up in here, man, first and foremost, show your boys some love, man. Hit the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button. You're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. So you guys already know. This Saturday, Fluence Lounge, y'all know. I've been in a hiatus for a little bit, but we definitely gonna be going live for the Errol Spence Terence Crawford card. We're gonna be going live for the UFC card, so make sure y'all join me for that for Saturday. But drop down below who y'all think is finna win. You know what I'm saying? Your prediction, what round, all that. What time to weigh in tomorrow? I got you. I'm finna look that up. Give me a second, dog. Like, let me get this back. I guess I can keep it quiet though, type. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, y'all get the wrong. Y'all tell me. Y'all know. I know y'all miss my lives, man. I'll be. Y'all know I don't be missing no step. I think the weigh-ins tomorrow is early. If you don't want me to cap, I think they early. I think they like 1 or 2 o'clock. I want to say Central, but I'm gonna give y'all that exact time because I think the weigh-ins is gonna be crazy. Sorry, I'm gonna look that up now. Let me get my little. Thursday. It's good for it to be Thursday, man. I'm happy it's Thursday, man. That weekend coming up. We got any of y'all up in here, man? I know we talking boxing, but if y'all gonna be checking out that UFC card that's happening tomorrow, I know I am, man. I'm gonna be watching both. I'm gonna have both going crazy, man. We got a crazy fight week going on. But let me see what time the weigh-ins is for tomorrow, man. Oh, we got Dub in the building. What's good with it, Dub? Let me see. Weigh-ins. Errol. Here we go, right here. When are the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford weigh-ins? Let's get it. Okay, so my time, I'm Central Time, is 5 p.m. If you Eastern, is 6. If you over there on the West Coast, that means that's going to be 3 o'clock for y'all. So midday, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's basically going to be midday. And those going to be lit. What's good with it, though, Doug? You already know what it is, man. Anybody feeling froggy, y'all can leap. Just tell me. I'm dropping the link. You heard? We got, let me know if I'm saying this wrong. Mio Pera, 40. Spence going to hit that boy hard when class fights with intentions to damage. Look, man, I'm not saying you wrong, brother. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying, and I know a lot of people missed it yesterday, but I went live and I went through, we did the resume check for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Both resumes is on point. But if there's one glaring difference, Errol Spence has had 2 TKOs in the last 4 years. Terence Crawford, the last time he hasn't had a knockout or a TKO was 2016. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can take that however you want. You can take it personal. You can take it practical. You can take it as information. I don't care. But from my research, that's what I saw. I'm not implying nothing. I'm just spreading the information. You feel me? So we got it going tomorrow. The weigh-ins is going to be lit. You already know, too. Tomorrow I'm going to be going live. And when I go live, it's probably going to be around the same time. We're going to be talking about the weigh-ins. You already know, man. We getting crazy for it. Danny Drew, I think this fight going to be like Hearns versus Leonard won in 1981. So much expectations. You know what's crazy when it comes to these fights, too? And I want to talk about this real quick before we go into the first reaction video. I'm going to do, let me see, the reaction video to the final press conference. The first person I'm going to definitely be playing. Let me see, who do I want to play first? Let's go with Derek. I'm going to do Derek James first. He's at 7 minutes 15. We're definitely not going to go through that whole 7 minutes because I don't care that much about everything he's saying. But we're going to hear a little bit of it. But because Derek James was talking greasy, I'm not even going to lie. But this is one thing I'm a little bit skeptical and I'm worried about, okay? Hear me out. So high expectations. We got someone like Danny Drew, you know, saying it's going to be like Hearns versus Leonard won in 1981. That's expectation level a thou wow, right? When I think about the big boxing fights that have happened, let's say just the last 5 years, right? Some can go even far as 10 years, right? And I don't want to do that because I'm not going to remember all of them. I'm going to forget, you know, some that were important. But have they met expectations? That's a question I really want to present. I want to ask y'all. Have the fights that have had the most buzz around it, people being excited for it, when it comes to boxing, you can say our generation to an extent, has it actually, met expectations, right? Because when I think about the fights that have really stood out in my mind, those fights are the ones that you really didn't expect nothing from. And like I can even go with something as recent as let's say Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Everyone's like, oh, this is a big fight. Oh my gosh, I never thought they would sign. And when you watch the fight, I'm not saying it wasn't a good fight, but it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm a Ryan Garcia fan. And some people are like, oh, well, you're a Ryan Garcia fan, so that's probably why you feel that way. No, I'm a Gervonta Davis fan too. I'm really a Ryan Garcia fan because he's from where I'm from. I always say this, but it's like, yeah. But then when you think about the ones that really stand out when it comes to our era, like, the era of big fights don't get made anymore. But then when we have a big fight, it's like, damn, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, right? No one was really, I remember when that fight was made, people were like, no one knows who Deontay Wilder is. A lot of US fans were like, Tyson Fury, like, he's only good over there. And now look what that comes from. But then, like, let's say for example, Mayweather Pacquiao, right? That ended up being something where like no one wants to talk about that fight, right? Appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that comment for real, man. Yeah, always tap in, man. Always tap in whenever you have the chance, man. Make sure you subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So you can always tap in, know when I'm live. But I'm like, if you really think about it, a lot of the fights where we had such big expectations, high expectations, they don't really meet them. Where vice versa, the ones where we're kind of like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this fight, but why did this fight get made? When you end up watching it, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, you like, damn, this is crazy, right? So I'm really hoping and I'm praying, wishing that that's not what happens. I hope that we have, like Danny Drew said, a Hearns versus Leonard 1, and this is really a 50-50 fight. These guys really come bring it, and we have a great fight on our hands. But like, what is the likelihood? And a fight not being as good as we expect it to be, it doesn't mean it doesn't end in the fashion that you want it. Because in my personal opinion, Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, that ended in a stoppage, right? But you were easily able to see one was levels above the other, or maybe, Ryan Garcia's in his defense, he talked about the rehydration clause, etc. So many things can be put in the contract where it just doesn't make it the same fight that it should be. So that's all I'm saying. Mio Para 40, forget about other fights. Look at the spirit for this one. Crawford is bitching, a guy who has class and is fully focused, saving it all to take his head off. Andrew gave him the thumbs up on that. Mio Para 40 also says small details like that mean all on these fights, the mental parts take over. I agree with you, right? But where I would dispute with you on that point is people are different, right? So there's one thing that at least me personally, or what I've seen when it comes to us as boxing fans like to do, is we like to categorize fighters and we like to put them kind of all in the same category, in a sense where it's like, and I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but in a sense it's like, well, if this person is so much focused on this and that, he's out of his character. When we don't know someone's character, right? There is people who are different. There is people who thrive off of the back and forth. There is people who I want to, in your, what I'm saying, like in your comment, I want to bitch. I want to go back and forth. I want to say all this shit because like I am just foaming at the mouth for this fight. And that's what gets them up in the morning. While others, maybe more of an Errol Spence type of demeanor, I don't want to address all that. I don't want no emotion. I want to go in there, no emotion. Somewhat that like this sport, but Adrien Adesanya. A lot of people say, man, look at him. He's emotional, all this type of stuff. That's what fuels him. That's what makes him such a great fighter, in a sense where you have a guy like Alex Pereira, right? Stone face, cold. I don't address nothing. That's what gets him up in the fight. So I don't ever really take those type of points, or, I don't really pay attention to those type of things and say, well, this person has the upper hand, or this is how this person's going to enter the fight, because some things work differently for other fighters. And it's just like for a Terence Crawford personality, if you haven't really paid attention to him, because I've been watching Terence Crawford. He's been one of my favorite fighters for a very, very long time. That gets him up in the morning. A lot of people see Terence Crawford as a guy who doesn't talk a lot of shit. I'm like, it's the opposite. It's not that he doesn't talk a lot of shit, but he wants you to talk shit. He thrives off of it. But what makes you say that though? I'm like, you can't make a statement like that but not back it up. You said I get it, but Crawford ain't like that. How is he not like that when he's knocked out all of it? The last time he hasn't knocked out or stopped one of his opponents was in 2016. So how isn't he like that? Do you not remember when he was fighting Jose Benavidez Sr. when he was at the weigh-ins and Jose Benavidez pushed him? He was talking all that shit and Crawford swung at him. A lot of people said he wasn't like that then. Stopped that man at the 11th round, excuse me. I'm like, we got to be real. When Gamboa hurt him, what did he do? He looked at him and he said, come on. And he pressed Gamboa and put that man down. There is a lot of examples showing that Crawford is like that. People want to say he's not because he's not boisterous, right? He doesn't incite he doesn't incite the trash talk, or he's not the one who's going to be like, oh, I'm going to start this off and I'm going to get hectic and I'm going to talk all this shit. He's more the person who responds. But the dog in him, I'm telling you, it's been shown. If you look at his track record, that's what gets him up in the morning. That's what he does. Errol Spence, on the other hand, he's totally opposite. Errol Spence is the dude. He's very even keeled, very level headed. He don't need that. He don't talk that shit. He don't need to engage in none of that. That's not what he does. Best move Terence made was getting away from Bob, Father, look at Floyd. I don't even want to get too much into the specifics of that because that's what my channel was built off of. A lot of people say the best move was him getting away from Bob. The best move was him getting away from Bob now. But a lot of people don't know Terence made a lot of money being with Bob during the time he was. Like when I first started this channel 5-6 years ago, Terence Crawford was making $1 million per fight and he wasn't even have to be on pay-per-view. So financially, it made sense for him to be with Bob as long as he was. Obviously now it doesn't make sense because he's trying to achieve things that won't allow him to be able to achieve being with the top rank, right? So, you know, everything happens at the perfect time. He was a smart businessman. I think, yes, now you're currently right. That was the best move. Beforehand, I don't really know because him leaving Bob and going over to PBC, let's say 3 to 4 years ago, it's already was showed. The reason why he took a David Avisan fight was because Al Heyman tried to lowball him and say he wasn't worth something. He took that Avisan fight. He got those millions from an unknown entity. And now he got a more respectful payday with this current Errol Spence deal. Crawford ain't like calling people out. Crawford ain't like calling people like he did on that press conference. He is out emotionally, but he didn't call anyone out on the press conference. That's why I disagree with you. There was no one called out. There was no boxer or fighter called out in the press conference, right? All he did was, like I said, react. He is a reactionary type of character. That's his characteristics. If you won't call him out on it, he's gonna be like, you better stand on that. He's not gonna be the person to approach you and be like, what you on type. No, you say something to him, and he's gonna be like, okay, well, stand on what you said. And the people that were talking in the crowd, he wasn't saying anything to Errol Spence. In the crowd, Errol Spence's team was talking big talk, and he was looking at him like, okay, you really about that? What's up there? That's Crawford's fighting style. If you watch him, he is reactionary. He downloads, computes, and he's like, okay, if that's what you want, now let's see if you stand on it, and you're gonna be able to make sure that actually comes through at the end of the day. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Neil Para 40, man. Great conversation, great opinions, great thoughts. Danny Drew, I've been enjoying you as well, man. Doing a lot of good thought. But let me not talk too much, man. Let's get into this first reaction. Derek James, Errol Spence's trainer, obviously. Let's see what he had to say in regards to this heated press conference. This is a 7-minute video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Let's do about maybe 1 or 2 minutes of it. I think we'd be able to kind of get the gist of how he felt about everything going on. Let's get it. And obviously, y'all go ahead, put your input, what y'all think about what you got to say.
Right now, don't look too closely because I need a red shirt. So I'm over here feeling a
Let me know if y'all can hear everything cool. Oh wait, I accidentally exited out. My bad. Hold on. And now an advertisement came up. I just be pressing buttons. All right, here we go.
Just your thoughts overall.
I won't even lie, whoever's interviewing, it's like, why is your mic louder where we can hear you, but then when you pass it over to Derek James, this might be Derek James' voice. It's like I can't really hear Derek James, so I don't really like how this is starting. So I might go to a different one because I can't really hear, bro. Mio Petter 40 said, "You are right. That's his personality, but against Spence, you can't go emotional like that in a fight." And I agree with you to an extent. I think against certain opponents, you can't be emotional. But just me personally, obviously, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fighter or anything like that, but you guys kind of, especially, it's just like life in general. It's like some things work for people that don't work for others. And some fighters being emotional works going into the fight. Now, I'm not saying like you're going in there thinking like, oh, I'm going to this and that, and I'm going to, it's going to show. But I think some fighters thrive off of like, I'm going to create some type of beef. I'm going to create some type of something so I can make sure I go in there and I be on killer mindset. And I don't know why I keep going back to this, but it really makes me think like, it's like Adrien. Adrien is an emotional fighter, but it makes him better, right? It makes him a better fighter. Like that's what he needs to go in there and handle business, right? Especially in such a brutal fashion, like how he did with Pereira. I think if Adrien didn't approach the second fight, or I guess technically it was the fourth fight that he's had, if you want to include kickboxing, but with Pereira with such emotion, he wouldn't have finished him in such brutal fashion. I see Terence Crawford the same way, where I don't actually think he's approaching this fight being like, yo, I need to create some type of an emotional drama for me to do this. But I think it's more so he's embracing the environment. He's embracing everything around him. And he understands like he's letting the moment feel the time when he's going to be actually in front of Errol Spence. And I think he understands that that's going to allow him to have the best chance at winning. Right? Where Errol Spence's emotions are, his characteristics is completely different, where he's like, I'm going to block everything out and I need to go into this as stoic as possible. I might, like I said, like some things work for others that don't, that don't work for somebody else. And I think that's just the situation. We're seeing two completely different people. Like, it's funny going into this fight. A lot of people didn't see, and I talked about this. I don't know if this was yesterday or the stream before, where I talked about it's so funny when you look at like the beginning of this year, a year ago, a year and a half ago, when you heard like Eddie Hearn talking about this fight, Bob Arum talking about this fight, Oscar De La Hoya talking about this fight, like Steven Espinoza talking about this fight. One of the main things a lot of people would say is like, well, these two fighters, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, like basically, like to sum it up, like they're both boring. They're not going to bring in that amount of numbers because they're not entertaining and all this type of stuff. And now it's like it's the complete opposite, because you're realizing how much, and maybe they did a good job of just holding this fight off enough where we're just feeding for it and everyone wants to see it. But it's like we're really seeing their personalities, where it's like you don't have to be thirsty, right? You don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to be extra. Like, we're not here for the personalities. We're here to appreciate the skill level, and what comes with that is whatever personality is with. And you're able to see like Errol Spence is laid back, subdued, but still very strategic, but still has an intense, a tense like aura around him. And Terence Crawford, you can tell, like a lot of people saw him as boring before this. A lot of people saw him as someone who was like, I can't listen to him. But now people are watching him. It's like, well, Terence Crawford is kind of intense. Like Terence Crawford, he's not boring at all. It's just he's a very intense fighter. So it's very funny that people are really appreciating both of these guys' personalities now, where literally the beginning of the year you had like promoters like Eddie Hearn, and I was like, well, I don't know if they'll be able to bring this money in because of how they are and all this stuff. Like it's and I hope this changes the a lot of things when it comes to boxing, because I was even saying it before, like as much as I do love UFC, their press conferences definitely changed like how you see press conferences today, but it also changed the idea of, and it was probably always like this, but not, I would say it's more in a new era where you feel like fighters need to have a personality that you really liked in order for you to be invested in the fight. When it's like, no, let them be individuals, appreciate their skill set. And when you appreciate their skill set, you'll appreciate the characteristics that was able to build the skill set. Danny Drew said, no matter the pre-fight trash talk to build a fight, it comes down to those hands when the bell sounds. Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing. That's all it comes down to, and that's all we're waiting for. I agree with you. Neil Para 40 said, well, that emotional aspect is one in fights for sure. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that's something that should be celebrated. I'm not saying that's something that everyone utilize. In my time watching fights, my time appreciating fights, appreciating fighters, I've noticed that there's not a one-all, end-all. And there are some fighters that their motivation, and I won't say their motivation, but what allows them to be able to be as great as they are is the emotional aspect. Where other fighters, it's the exact opposite. They want no emotional aspect. They want no emotional attachment. They want to see this is strictly business. That's it. And it's like you have to be able to appreciate both and respect both and understand that, you know, there's not an end all be all when it comes to, you know, a sport like this. Like some, they're going to be very emotional. Some are going to be somewhat emotional. Some are going to be mildly emotional, while others are going to be absolutely not emotional, disconnect. But it just all depends on the stylistic approach, the characteristics, the character of the fighter, where that works the best. And if it works the best for them, then that's how it goes, man. That's fighting. And that's the beautiful thing about fighting. That's why we're all fight fans, because, you know, it's so unpredictable. Like we think we know, but we don't. So let me, I think I like Fight Hub a little bit better right now. Let's go to Adrien Broner reacts to heated Spence Crawford press conference, because I got Adrien Broner in the title. So let's see what Adrien Broner has to say about the shenanigans. I'm hoping we can hear him.
But I love him forever, though. Yeah, I just want to see you get the bag. You know what I mean? He became a hump for the meat forever, man. That's what you say. Adrien, I don't think about the fight, though, Shan. Terence Crawford, Errol. I really ain't here to, you know, everybody know who I'm with. You know what I mean? But you know, I ain't here to.
Real quick, I do want to say this. I want to give the flowers to Adrien Broner. Anybody who's been following my channel long enough, y'all know, you know, my first ever favorite fighter, period, was Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner, you know, I'm not talking about skill, I'm not talking about accomplishments. Adrien Broner's on my Mount Rushmore. Because he was the one that made me fall in love with boxing, period. So it's good to see Adrien Broner. Y'all know he did that apology on his IG, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's won his last fight. You know, he's supposed to be back on track. So I do nothing but support anything Adrien Broner does, period. In this video, he got the grays and the beards. So he's embracing the natural of it. So it's good. It's good to see him, you know what I'm saying, sober. And for now, obviously, but it's good to see him, you know, obviously trying to stay on that right path. You know what I'm saying? Women act on their emotion before their intellect. That's what Danny Drew said. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's a fact. Much love to all my women out there. I love my women. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Tell women that they know that. You know what I'm saying? But this is different. Isn't it the same thing, right? When you're going into a situation where your life can be on the line, for you to ignore your emotions completely, in my personal opinion, that's not a smart thing, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to embrace certain aspects of your emotions that's going to be able to bring out certain things. So it's not the same thing, right? Women act on their emotion before their intellect when it comes to basic decisions. So I don't think there is a comparison, or, you know, there is a way that you can connect fighting and utilizing your emotions in that as just basically deciding whether or not, you know what I'm saying, you want to pick some grapes or you want to pick a banana. You know what I'm saying? Like that's completely different. So it do sound good though. I ain't gonna cap. It sound good, but no, this is completely different. I'm like, just to be able to utilize your emotions and be able to put it into a form, into an art form, that right there is mastery. That's artistry. That's next level intellect. Because the only way you'll be able to actually, all right, this particular emotion that I have, and then be able to put it into a form of your art that will be able to allow you to capitalize off it and be the best you can be. That's intellect. That's using your intellect over your emotions. You understand? That's being able to control your emotions in a way where it'll be able to positive for you. See what I'm saying?
To do all that, man. Them boys gonna get in there. They're gonna put on a great show. It's gonna be a great night. All I want is for both of them to go home, but be with their kids and be healthy, man. That's it. But you know, everybody know what Errol though. You know.
When we gonna see you back in
Toby sounds. Real quick, just both fighters. What is the best attributes that both fighters have? You know, what does Spence have to describe the fight? Because obviously,
I mean, they both.
There's no shot toward AB, but I'm gonna take back the sober part. He's definitely drunk.
They both got a lot of the same attributes.
He's drunk. He said attributes. He's drunk.
It's gonna be crazy, man. You know, I really don't want to get into it, but it's gonna be a great. I'm just here to watch the press conference.
What you think about the press conference overall?
Nah.
That's Keyshawn Davis. You know he rock with Terence. You know that. Andrew said, "You're right. When fire steps through the ropes, their life is on line." Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. I just don't want you guys to take what I'm saying the wrong way. Just because I'm saying some fighters are able to utilize their emotions to be able to tap into a level where they're able to, do some, be able to perform above and beyond. That doesn't mean they're reacting off their emotions. They need a high level of intellect to be able to find a way to utilize that emotion and put it and dissect it and convert it where it's a benefit toward what they're doing. Women, there's no intellect when they utilize their emotion. Respectfully, that's a good thing though. You want your women to react off emotion because you want your woman to be emotional. That's what makes them great mothers. That what makes them nurturers. That's what makes them what they are. That's a positive for women, but it's not a positive for men. That's all I'm saying. I think mostly right now, Spence got the advantage. He's laid back with confidence. The reason why I disagree with that is because that is Errol Spence's, that's his natural behavior. That's how he naturally is. He's always laid back. He's not someone who taps into, he's not a person who utilizes the emotions to get up for a fight. Right? And I don't think Terence Crawford does either, but I think his personality is just different where it's like, there's just a different dog, right? Errol Spence is like, yo, I'm tuned in, right? Terence Crawford's like, I'm tuned in, but if you want to get me riled up, you finna get me riled up. But you're not gonna get me riled up where I'm not thinking and using my mental to make sure that I'm smart with whatever I'm doing or how I'm moving. It's just like, yo, you want to see that out of me? You want to get that dog out of me? You finna get it. And I also think that's a big reason why when you look at the stylistic approach of both fighters, Errol Spence can come out very aggressive early. Terence Crawford doesn't come out as aggressive. So I think that's another thing. I think it's a benefit for Terence Crawford because he's like, let me see what you got. Let me dissect it. And then let me utilize that to bring the dog out. Errol Spence is the type of like, yo, this is the dog in me. Can you keep up? And it's going to keep elevating. So I think this is all stylistic approach, but I can't be mad at you. I can't say no. Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from when you say what you say.
It's over. Ain't no knockout. No knockout?
Knockout. Think you'll go all 12?
I bet the push up.
The 9 or the 10.
So what we bet? Yeah. Hey, look. I'm gonna bet you $20. I'm gonna bet you $20.
I knew from AB, you only betting $20. Okay, you really is changing.
course. Don't forget we better 200. I mean, I'm better 200, but I'm gonna take 200 from them. But I give you 20 though. Errol. Hey look. What's up, man? What's up with my boy?
That's crazy. I won't even lie. This whole reaction video of AB right now, you can tell, and Davis is too. So it's not a bad look. Like that's good. Like we've seen videos from AB where he looks a lot more faded. Like I could tell AB's been drinking, but so is Davis. Shit, nigga, I've been drinking. No cap. But he's handling himself well, which is good. But there's videos in the past, you look a lot worse. So I ain't gonna judge.
Well, you be right. No. I know. Yeah, you changed that shit. It's the last year. I know you.
Hey, what you think about the press conference overall? Just like, was it so they helped the fight a little bit more?
Stay with you at. Hey, it's hurt too much.
Bro, maybe my favorite. It's crazy.
This is gonna be a You got $20 bet, man. Oh no, $20. We got we got a 20. Man, we got a $20 bet. But man, him, his bitch ass, we got 200. He got 200 from him. I'm going Bud. I raised this nigga. I'm about to beat his ass. I got Bud. Real, man. Hey, I'm about to get on this bitch. I got Bud. He's just smart. This nigga slept in the same bed as me.
Pause. Hey, yo. You said this nigga slept in the same bed as me. Like, chill, AB. You faded. Was it even wilder? Like, y'all can't even see it. Like, I want to show y'all. These niggas is they have it's like they got it on a dress code. Like they coordinating what they wearing. Like they all got white shirts on. I don't know what jeans they got on, but this is like bad. Like I know y'all must have rocked with each other. Y'all in the same crew, but everybody wearing white shirts. Okay, bet. That's still crazy. I don't care how much money I got. I don't care what nigga in my crew is making the most money, and maybe he's supplying me with the money, but the dress coordination is crazy. Then to be like, he slept in the same bed as me, man. Like, yo.
I'm with Bud, bro. I'm with Bud. I ain't got
crazy.
Man, hey, listen, y'all. Look, it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be something epic. But y'all know, man, I'm,
In the cam, man.
I got it. We bet 20.
Bet with your heart.
Huh?
You bet with your heart.
No. I don't bet with hearts. I bet with spades.
You bet with spades, too. Take that hit, bitch.
We're gonna say Keyshawn Frank on. What you think about him fighting Frank on?
Two good youngsters. Two good youngsters. It's gonna be a great fight as well. And right now.
They talking about some other shit. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was crazy. Crawford's going to have to bring the dog from round one because of Spence's style. If Crawford can't KO him early, the balance will go all the way to Spence's side. So Mio Para 40, I don't know how much you watch Crawford, but Crawford doesn't KO anybody early. That's not his style. Crawford's always someone, he's more of a late round type dude. He doesn't break anybody down, but he likes to, see what your weaknesses is. He sees what your strengths is. And then he finds a way to be able to counter. Like his counter punching is a lot different than a guy like, let's say, Floyd. Who a lot of people said he ran or was on his back foot, but majority of Floyd's career until he got older, he didn't do that. He was just an amazing counter puncher. Terence Crawford is a dude where he likes to punch in between punches. So he will start slow because he's trying to figure out your patterns. Because most fighters have patterns. Most fighters, they'll do the same thing over and over, no matter how good they are. So he'll dissect that, see it, and then he'll say, okay, I can punch in between the jab because I know after that jab is going to be a 2 and it's going to be a 3 to the body and it's going to be a 4 over the top. So if I'm able to intercept the 1 and the 2 and I'm able to throw something in between and disrupt his rhythm, that's going to give him problems, and I'm going to be able to land that punch that I think is going to be able to take him down. That's how Terence Crawford works. Am I saying that's going to be able to neutralize Errol Spence, or that can be able to keep Errol Spence from being able to be successful and do what he do? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you are an Errol Spence fan, which, you know, I won't say I'm an Errol Spence fan, but I watched all of Errol Spence's fights, so I'm very aware of both stylistic approach. Like, just be aware that there's a very good possibility, and this is how I predict the fight to go. The first 6, 1 to 6 rounds, I think is going to be Errol Spence's advantage, because his work rate is just going to show. His work rate is going to be a problem for Terence. I know it is. That is going to be a problem, but the work rate for Errol Spence is going to be very beneficial for him through the first 6 to 8 rounds. The first 1 to 6 to 7 rounds. But I think after that 7th round, it can possibly be a problem. And the reason why I'm saying it's going to be a problem is because the more you work, the more you have a higher rate. That means that's the more that Terence Crawford, the type of stylistic approach he has, he's going to be able to dissect and be able to compute what you do well and what you don't do well and what your rhythm is. Because that's all he's trying to see. He's going to be, how can I break your rhythm? And people who don't have a high intellect of boxing knowledge, they don't understand that. They don't understand that boxing is like dancing. Boxing is like walking. It's rhythmic. And Errol Spence's style, while he has a very high work rate, what no one wants to talk about is his high work rate is coexistent with being rhythmic. Watch his mitt work with Derek James. It's a very rhythmic type of style. So what happens, let's say you got all the dance moves, right? And some of y'all niggas may not even get that because y'all don't get one, but you got all the dance moves, you got all the moves, right? But you come across a woman who's able to get like, hold up, I know what type of time you're on. I'm able to predict everything. When she's able to know exactly what's coming up next, don't you have a lot more trouble trying to crack her down? I know what you finna say, nigga. I know what you finna do. Oh, damn. Now you giving me new type of traps, new type of pushbacks. I got to figure out how to make my maneuver around. So now you're thinking on the fly, right? When you're thinking on the fly rather than being rhythmic, what does that do? It gives more openings. That's all I'm saying. Salute, let's talk about it. Andrew, what's the lost wages odds on the fight? That's actually a great question. Let's see. By the way, we got a couple more reaction videos we need to get into. That Adrien Broner reaction video was funny. Because that man was faded in the mud. It was crazy. His whole camp, right? He was like, I got to go with Errol Spence. Everybody else in this camp was going with Terence. That was wild to me. Does that mean anything? No, obviously it don't mean anything. Either someone gonna be making a lot of money or someone gonna be losing a lot. All right, so this is coming from Bloody Elbow. Per the sources, it would take place at T-Mobile Arena. Obviously, deal was presented would essentially be for 2 fights, as both fighters would have a rematch clause in the event of a loss. Although the fight would have to take place before the end of the year. This article is too long. I need the specifics. I need straight to the point. You feel me? The money behind Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford fight. Let's look at that. That's what we want to be. So I'm like, I don't need the ins and outs. All right, so Crawford reportedly earned around $10 million fighting David Avisan. Spence earned around $1.5 million fighting Ugas, right? It's according to this article. All right. So, while both camps haven't publicly announced just how much of a purse they will pull, the ESPN reports suggests both Spence and Crawford will earn 8 figures. That's a payday in the tens of millions, if not more, for those doing the math. In negotiations leading up to the fight, Crawford was also quoted saying 2 unnamed hedge funds offered. We know about that. So I'm not even gonna lie. I'm over here looking. I can't find none. Let's see sporting news. Let's see the salaries. I can't find nothing though. It's hard to find what's going on with the money. So the money might be funny. The money might, yeah. There's nothing right now when it comes to money. Who's earning what? Like all you can see is the split for the most part. But other than that, reports suggest both Spence and Crawford will earn 8 figures guaranteed. That's the paydays in the tens of millions, if not more for those doing the math. But there's no official report. There's nothing solid, nothing like that. Nothing like that. So we don't got nothing official when it comes to the money. We don't know if it's funny. We don't know if it's secured. But we have to just actually we have to assume it's going to be good because I'm like we've been talking about. This is a fight for the decades, right? I can't wait personally, man. I'm not even finna cap too. This is finna be a hell of a fight. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's go a couple more reactions because there is a couple more videos I definitely want to see. I wanted to see the reaction of Terence Crawford. Okay, so they got both combined. So let's see what they got going on. The reaction of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence to the shits. Right? So let's do it. Now let's turn it up.
Everybody know,
Y'all can hear that?
you got two guys up here with families, you know, that very well support both of them, and things can get ugly, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, why not just come together and cheer the guy on that you're rooting for? And
Just remember, Danny. Just remember him, Mio especially. That's what y'all said was emotional just because you said he was having a back and forth. He sounded real calm and cool and collect to me. It's just when you meet him with that fire, he finna light his flame too. That's all I'm saying.
and let the best man win instead of, you know, taking it into consideration where you feel like you fighting or you have to fight or you got to protect yourself in some way, shape, or form. Where that ain't even the case. How you feel this undisputed fight compared to the last fight against you? I feel way better now than I did at 140. You know, in this situation, but this is a bigger fight. You know, and I'm 110% prepared for everything that it brings come fight. Well, that ain't nothing new. At the time that I became undisputed at 140, I think it was like, what, 12 years or something, some crazy amount of years since, you know, I was the last man to actually be undisputed. And then I was the first man to be undisputed at 140, you know, so I've already been making this. This is nothing new to me.
Because you mentioned it a lot in the build-up to this fight. Mentioned that he's very breakable. What do you see there? Is it because he's been hurt by smaller guys, or is there something else?
I see that he's a human, and every human is breakable. So, no, that's all I see.
In your opinion, what do you feel on their end they're most underestimating about you?
They're underestimating everything about me. You know, they just think that because he's talented, you know, that's gonna work, and you know, he got speed and quickness and power. That's gonna work. But you know, that's not everything. You gotta have fundamentals. You gotta be smart. You gotta have, you know, he got great IQ when he's, you know, moving around and being talented. But I feel like he never fought anybody at my level.
How's your power going to make the difference in this fight, you feel?
I don't know. We gotta see. Come Saturday night. You gotta do that 2 more days.
Is it a weakness? One kind of contentious.
It's interesting to me because as long as we've been talking about this fight, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, or, you know what I'm saying, anybody can tell me if I'm wrong, Errol Spence has always been the A side. Errol Spence has said previously that he was the A side. Errol Spence has said recently he is the A side. If I just kind of look and go based off of comments and people saying, I would assume most people think Errol Spence is going to be the winner of this fight, even though it's still very close when it comes to opinions. I think it's very interesting to hear Errol Spence in the interviews, and he's trying to paint himself as the underdog because, you know, me personally, and I could be wrong, like you're definitely not the underdog. You've never been the underdog. It's always been Terence Crawford. The shit talking, people saying they're ducking, the people saying you're afraid, it's always been toward Terence Crawford. They never said to Errol Spence. So it's very interesting. The take that I'm seeing from Errol Spence right now is where you're saying he's faster, athletic, but he's never been in the ring with me. I would think the opposite. And this is what it comes back to when I said different things fuels different people. Maybe Errol Spence needs to see himself as the underdog, regardless of what people say, to make sure he brings, you know, what he needs to bring to the table, which is different than the emotional aspect. But I think it's very interesting hearing his interviews, and he's presented as if like people are underestimating him, when it's the exact opposite. Majority of people are saying, at least when it comes to this fight, more people are leaning towards you winning than Terence Crawford, and it's been that way ever since this fight, you know, could have possibly happened, and even when it was announced.
Final press conference, just your thoughts overall. A lot of back and forth. How you guys feeling right now?
I'm good, man. What's good? That's what it is, man. You know, you face to face with people who you know they talk fast about you. I don't care nothing about it. But it's the game. So it's like, you know, everything about it, I'm always up for trainer of the year, this, that, and that. That's what you want to be. And I mean, I think that it's disrespectful because probably should have been up more. But you only have one fighter, then other fighter for a little bit. So I've been able to be consistent and maintain that, you know, do something different. But it's okay.
For you, what is it about what they said has been disrespectful in your opinion?
I mean, he threatened everybody. He threatened people. Like people can die or whatever he said. You know, that's serious.
You know, given that there's a change.
Yo, you being extra saying he threatened everybody. Like, come on, bro. Stop being extra.
The dynamic at all of the fight, in your opinion, Derek? Given all that talk, does it change the dynamic at all of the fight?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do it at all. It's just like, I think that you can't.
Danny Drew came back with the statistics. He was like, well, basically saying Errol Spence has every right to feel like he's an underdog because Terence Crawford is favored right now. Which I didn't know. I don't check the betting odds because I don't bet. So if that's true, I'm very surprised that Terence Crawford is the favorite. That is surprising. So I'm gonna go ahead and double check that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I gotta see that myself because I'm like, that's wild. And you're completely right. Crawford is the favorite. Wow. So what am I missing here, y'all? Isn't that interesting to me? Like the like when you go on like the YouTube channels, people talking like everyone is for Errol Spence, but when it comes to the Vegas, Terence Crawford is slightly the favorite. That's wild to me. It doesn't make any sense. Because I'm like, no one's ever respected Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford was the duck. He was a nigga with Bob Earl. He was the Ray, like, you know what I'm saying? All types of, he was the coon, all that shit. And he's fighting Earl, and Vegas has him as a slight favorite. I'm very interested to see if that changes going into Saturday. We'll see how it happens tomorrow. But that's very interesting.
You can do what you want, but I think that's
wild.
I mean, I think the fight is going to be the fight. I mean, what's going to make Errol mad? I mean, no. It's going to be what it's going to be.
How does it end?
Errol Spence, undisputed champion.
I mean, it definitely showed like we ready to jump on the stage and fight for the. So what did I tell you? That people were thinking me, and you can see me. I turn around and smile at them. Like, just become a territory. This is what's really going to happen. Your people are saying different things, saying different stuff. Because they ain't got to be disrespectful or say nothing crazy and both
Earl, you mentioned years ago the reason Derek James is a great trainer is because he trains you for moments. He prepares you for moments of the fight. What moments do you feel most prepared for this fight?
I'm on first this fight is my residency. Gary didn't prepare me for the
Struggling for life with them teeth, man.
You know, they still, resisting me, and they just, to be smart. It don't matter anything that happens, any circumstances that happen. Just make sure that you stay the course. If you want something, you try hard to get it, and you don't take no for an answer. So my mom and dad gave me that.
Might be said that because I'm like, what you literally just said, I'm like, that's something that's instilled from your parents, nigga. Don't give that credit to your motherfucking trainer. Ain't no way. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all already know, man. Look, I didn't know how long I was gonna be live tonight. I would definitely be live longer and have a lot of more fun. But it was a good time tonight. I'm not even finna cap. I appreciate everybody that was up in here, man. I appreciate y'all. Anyone who was new, Danny Drew, Mio Pierre, Para 40. I appreciate you. Let's talk about coming in here. Dub dropped a little something real quick. We finna be lit when it comes to Saturday night, man. I'm gonna be having the Fluence Lounge, so I'm gonna be watching the fights live. I'm gonna watch the whole UFC card live, and then obviously we're gonna watch Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford live. Like I said, man, this YouTube channel is back in full effect, going crazy. The daily check-ins is back as well. I'm gonna be back with that tomorrow, man. It was nothing but a good time. I would go longer. I'm not even finna lie. I can go longer. That's what I said to her. But we can make this live a whole lot longer, all that good stuff. We can go crazy with it, but let's not oversaturate the content, man. I appreciate y'all for real. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about the weigh-ins. We're gonna be talking a whole lot more shit. We got an epic fight happening on Saturday. We got an epic fight weekend happening this weekend. Nothing but blessings, nothing but love. Make sure y'all stay up. Make sure y'all keep doing your thing. I appreciate everybody as always, man. Hit the like button below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. This was such a good time. Such a good time, man. If y'all wasn't paying attention, y'all probably didn't because y'all came in later. Beginning of this stream, I was in my feelings. I needed an escape. I was a getaway, all that type of stuff. I appreciate y'all, man. No cap, man. Much love to the people, man. Stay strong. Keep doing what you do. Stay confident. I'm out of here for now, but I'm going to be back tomorrow. And we for sure going to be back Saturday because we got our big day Saturday. Much love to the people. BlakGooseTV is back in full effect, and it ain't going nowhere. Y'all already know what the live is. Y'all already know what the vibe is. Y'all already know what the real is. Much love. I'm out. Peace. Double salute. And much love.